Hey, hi everyone. Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon to all the viewers. So today we will talk about few tools like APK tool, Dex to ZAR, Zdax tool. So APK tool, if we talk about the APK tool, this is usually to unpack the Android APK file. Okay, so as we know, the APK files are something as an archive file. So we unpack it to see what are the contents of the APK file. So we will check that out in the APK tool during our installation process. And next tools that we are going to talk about is Dex to jar. So this particular tool helps in converting the APK file to jar file, or uh, and then we can say then this DAX file to back to jar file. So what is happening here is, as a application is archived into APK file, so we are converting this file to a jar file, so that is being read by the Java, or we can also say dex file to jar files, as a dex are the dex files, as we have seen in the compilation process, is the ultimate output. Then after that we uh, uh, merge all the files and produce the APK file. So here we are converting the APK file to jar file, we can say, or we can also say that we are converting the dex files to jar files. So this is actually, the jar files are readable in the Java. So what is happening is, the jar file is again uh, produced into Java. So okay, that can be human readable. So now, in order to convert from dex to jar, we are using this dex to jar tool, which has this utility called d2j dex to jar tool. So this is a utility that we will be using to see how the jar archive files can be opened. So then this opening up this jar archive file being used by the JDGUI. So we can also install JDGUI to make use of the jar archive file. So this is a very simple command is there, like d2j dex to jar, and then the APK file name, which will convert the APK file to jar file, and then that jar file we can open in JDGUI. Right. Now next is the Jadx tool. So this particular tool helps in decompiling the application. So this will directly convert APK to Java file. So there is two different things. Now one is unpacking the file and one is decompiling the file. Unpacking the file is to see the contents of the file, which APK tool will help us in unpacking the Android APK. But with the help of decompilation, we'll be using Jadx file, which will directly convert our APK file to Java file, which will be human readable. But when you unpack the file APK, after unpacking the APK through the help of APK tool, you might not be able to read those files. Suppose there is an Android manifest file, you might not able to read it because it is in the binary format. So once you decompile that file, you can able to read it. So that will be helpful for us, and that task will be done by the Jadx. So there are very simple commands, apt install Jadx and all. So I'll show you how we can install it. Let's jump in. Okay, so now let's search for the Jadx in Windows. So if I type Jadx for Windows, so the Jadx tool can be installed either in Windows, Linux, or in your Mac system. So if you are searching for the Jadx, you can either type in Jadx or Jadx for Windows. You can see this GitHub page from Skylab, and if you select here, it will take you to this particular page of the Jadx. Now here, as you can see, this in the about information and the releases. You can go to the releases here, And in the releases section, if you come down, you can see the download files options. Here they are directly giving the exe file for the Windows, right, with JRE or without JRE, and the zip files that can be installed in the system. And this will be helpful in the Linux platform. So let me download this Windows file. Yeah, so it is downloaded. Going to this folder, installing it, and double click, and then go for the install. Okay, so once you double click and open, it will directly show you this dialog box that you can see here on the screen. Now it will ask you to open a file. Please open a file. So you can open a file. Like you can click on start, open a file. Now here, what you have to do is you have to produce an APK file. Okay. So let me go to the downloads section, and let's see if I have any APK file. Okay, so yeah, so as this is the Duolingo application we have seen earlier, so I'll open this file, and you can see the during this is the first time the application is getting loaded, so it takes a little bit of time. Okay, so once it's get loaded, it will show you the entire package. Okay. In the entire package, you can see all the resources, assets, as well as the uh, package name, the development file, manifest files. So all the files being present in this particular Jadx. So Jadx will do the analysis. So as you can see here, it has loaded all the files of that APK. Now you can see here, this is the structure of the APK file. Now it has the source code, resources, APK signature, and the summary. So if you look at the source code, we can see few of the file named as Kotlin. So this is basically the Kotlin uh, packed file, right? This APK file is developed in the Kotlin version, or we can say the Kotlin code. So few APKs that are developed with the Java code, and now the Kotlin is the most easy and easy to write application APK. So Kotlin is being used for this application. This is the directory for the resource, and you can see many other subfolders are there: assets, Kotlin, meta files, Android manifest files, classes files, all being described, properties, right? So you can see all the files. So here you have resources.arsc. So you can see the resources, values, port. So all those things are packed into this APK. Now, if we look at this Android manifest file, you can see the code on the right hand side in this tab. Now it will tell you what is this package being used, what permissions are being granted, okay, what is the package Android name being used,